Richard E. Fleming November 2, 1917 – June 5, 1942 was a United States Marine who received the Medal of Honor for his heroism in World War II during the Battle of Midway. Fleming piloted a Vought SB2U Vindicator dive bomber in an attack on the Japanese. Richard Fleming was born in St. Paul, Minnesota, on November 2, 1917. He attended St. Thomas Military Academy and graduated in the class of 1935. During his senior year he was chosen as top student officer. From St. Thomas, he entered the University of Minnesota and became president of Delta Kappa Epsilon fraternity. He received his Bachelor of Arts degree in 1939. Soon after graduation, he enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve and applied for flight training. He was sent to the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida, for training and finished at the top of his class in 1940. He was promoted to first lieutenant in April 1942 and to captain a month later. Captain Fleming's first duty station was the Naval Air Base in San Diego, California. 10 days after the United States entered World War II, he flew from Pearl Harbor to Midway Island. He fought in the Battle of Midway as flight officer of Marine Scout Bombing Squadron 241. When Squadron Commander Lofton Henderson was shot down during the initial attack on a Japanese aircraft carrier, Fleming took command of the unit. The following day, June 5, 1942, Captain Fleming led the 2nd Division of his squadron in a mass dive bombing assault on the Mikuma. Leaving the remainder of his formation, he dived to the perilously low altitude of 400 feet 120 m, exposing himself to enemy fire in order to score a hit on the ship. Undeterred by a fateful approach glide, during which his plane was struck and set afire, he grimly pressed home his attack to an altitude of 500 feet, released his bomb to score a near miss on the stern of his target, then crashed to the sea in flames. For extraordinary heroism and conspicuous gallantry above and beyond the call of duty, Captain Fleming was posthumously awarded the nation's highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor, while PFC Toms received the Distinguished Flying Cross. 1 On November 24, 1942, President Franklin Roosevelt presented the Medal of Honor to Captain Fleming's mother. In Midway, the battle that doomed Japan, Mitsuo Fukuda states, the pilot Ari Fleming, after being hit by anti-aircraft fire, attempted a daring suicide crash into Mikuma's bridge. He missed the bridge but crashed into the after turret, spreading fire over the air intake of the starboard engine room. This caused an explosion of gas fumes below, killing all hands working in the engine room. This was a damaging blow to the cruiser, hitherto unscathed except for the slight hull damage received in the collision with Mogami. 2 This source among others began perpetuating the myth that Fleming crashed into Mikuma after scoring a near miss. However, Fukuda's account has been challenged by modern scholars, most notably by Jonathan Parshall and Anthony Tully III, for its many logic errors and inaccuracies. In this instance, Fukuda was not a witness to the attack as he was with the remnants of Kido Butai several hundred miles away. The battleship attacked by Captain Fleming was actually the heavy cruiser Mikuma. Despite the clear language in Fleming's Medal of Honor citation, which noted correctly his having achieved a near miss and then crashing into the sea, the common wisdom of the battle has often had Fleming striking Mikuma with his bomb, and then crashing his aircraft onto her aft turrets. This construction is based upon the eyewitness accounts of both a Japanese naval officer and Fleming's wingman. Some sources state that the wreckage of Fleming's plane is shown in the very famous image of Mikuma in a pre-sinking state on the early evening of June 6. Wreckage located on the roof of fore turret has commonly been ascribed as that of Fleming's aircraft. However, Mikuma had suffered catastrophic damage from the detonation of her own Type 93 torpedo mounts, which were located immediately forward of the main battery turrets, on the main deck. The resulting explosions had largely destroyed the aft portion of Mikuma's funnel, as well as her rear superstructure and mainmast. This accounts for the wreckage on her turret roof. Similarly, the particulars of Mikuma's damage, as well as the American attacks against her, were very accurately recorded by the Japanese, and these sources make no mention of a hit by an enemy aircraft.